Hello again, YouTube. It's Skylar. Welcome back to my face. I have been on hormones now for 13 whole months. Now, I was kind of debating whether or not to do an update every single month because, not really that much can change, but I think it's still important that I do just so that there is like a record that I can look towards and you guys can look at to just see the progress from month to month, I guess. Have I noticed anything different since my last update? Actually, yes. I've started getting a lot more stretch marks again, which tells me that my body is still changing, which is pretty remarkable because I kind of thought I had bottomed out and everything was starting to settle in, but nope, looks like I'm still changing, which is pretty significant because I have started to reach the point now where whenever I look in the mirror, I see myself as a female more than I did before, which is such a huge stress relief because before, I'd wake up out of bed and I'd start getting ready, but before I did my hair and everything, I still had trouble looking in the mirror. And it's really hard to explain, like I've said before, for someone that hasn't experienced dysphoria, but looking in the mirror used to give me a lot more stress than it does now, and I'm beginning to finally see my authentic self starting to shine through, and I can see a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's pretty amazing. It really makes me feel happy that, I've made it this far already in the progress that I've made, especially because it takes about 2 or 3 years before the hormones switch everything over. This is just basically a full puberty. And so if I'm seeing this much progress already at 13 months, I can only imagine what I will see at 48 months. It should be pretty exciting. So besides the stretch marks, I have been dealing with a lot of hot flashes. Those really suck. I usually get them during the daytime, not so much in the evening, but it usually comes when I get overstressed or I start overworking too much or just anything that kind of elevates my blood pressure. I start getting a hot flash and I'll have to take a second and, kind of cool off. But I have heard from some other trans girls that it is kind of pretty common with HRT, especially in the beginning. And considering the fact that I'm on probably the highest dosage of my hormones with my spironolactone and my estradiol, it kind of makes sense that I would experience more side effects than someone that was on a lower dosage. So, you take the good with the bad. So, do the hot flashes suck? Yes, but the higher dosage means that I am transitioning a little bit faster than I would have if I was on a lower dosage. So, I'd kind of rather, bite the bullet on that one. I've also noticed a lot too, my emotions changing a lot more. And I've said this from the beginning of when I even started making videos and stuff, that my emotions were changing, but it's becoming more and more apparent rather than more of a placebo thing, where before when I remember the first 2 weeks I started taking hormones and then I'm having an emotional breakdown and stuff, and I'm like, no. Looking back now, I wasn't I'm really super emotional now. I'm a lot more prone to crying and feeling emotion towards things and events that otherwise before wouldn't have made an emotional impact on me as much as it does now. So when I see news stories or, people that I can empathize with, I feel a lot more sympathy and, caring towards other human beings and just feeling more connected to people in general. Like, I feel like I have a better understanding of other people's emotions as well as my own. And that's allowed me to better understand myself too at the same time, because when you don't have as good of emotional reasoning, your reaction to things that cause emotion can sometimes be a little off. I don't know if I can explain this right, but I've always struggled with emotional intelligence. So throughout my transition, I have definitely become more acclimated to understanding human emotion within my own self as well as others, which makes me feel a lot more comfortable, expressing feelings and talking about feelings with others, especially when it comes to complex issues like, helping someone out with a problem. If I have a friend that's going through a hard time emotionally, I feel like I can be more there for them than I used to be, because I feel like I can better understand what they're feeling. I mean, I don't really know the best way to explain this because it's all still new to me, but I'm pretty sure, you can probably put the puzzle pieces together that overall I'm just more emotional than I was before. And that's a good thing in my opinion. It's a tremendously good thing in my opinion, because I just feel more whole and complete, mentally and just emotionally. So I don't want to ramble on about that too much, though. I have only 10 more days now until I go up to Reno for my consultation for my orchiectomy procedure, which I'm super excited and a little nervous because I don't know when their surgery date's going to be set. And I'm really, really hoping that it's sooner rather than later, because if they make it later, like, months out instead of like, my ideal, obviously, would be I would get the consultation and then have the surgery the next day. That would just be the win-win situation. But I know because of scheduling and all that, I'm just a little concerned about when the soonest availability that I might be able to get the procedure done. And that's the only anxiety that I'm feeling about it right now, is just how far out longer after the consultation will I be able to get the procedure done. Obviously, the sooner the better, so I can get it over and done with. But, just thought I'd voice my concerns out loud about some of my thoughts. But it's happening, and I'm super happy. And it's like, something that I've wanted my whole life, and I'm finally at the point now where I'm there, and it's finally going to happen, and I know how much more happy I'm going to be on the other side of that. So see, I told you I'm a lot more emotional now than I was. It's funny because it's one thing to say you feel more emotional, and then there's another, like, actually being more emotional, and I'm definitely starting to acclimate to that difference. But without going over my time today, I would like to remind everyone that I do have a GoFundMe account set up for my breast augmentation procedure, because my insurance does not cover that, and the amount has to be paid before I can get the procedure. I put a link in the description of many of my videos. You can find it below. And if you would like to donate, which you do not have to, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but if you want to, it would help me out tremendously. So with that said, I hope you all remember to like, share, and subscribe to my videos for more amazing content, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.